from? It's our family clan, Bear Clan.
Thank you all for being a part of our lives. We're all in different stages. I'm going to read a prayer from my mom first before I start blowing snot bubbles, as Jimbo would say. I give you this one thought to keep. I am with you still. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on the ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Don't think of me as gone. I am with you still in each new dawn. Who wants to start?
I'll start it.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Smart.
Yeah. So, I spent a lot of time with Jim after his heart attack. And I was giving him massages like every single day. And I learned so much from him about what Bisbee was like before the mines. He used to tell me that pile of dirt was never there. This was a beautiful little valley, and that pile of dirt wasn't there. And it was amazing what he knew and the respect he had for the environment and for the earth. And I really appreciated that about him. And he gifted me an eagle feather a lot like this one. And I still have it. And he taught me how to smudge. And I smudged my house. And I think of him every time I do that. And I've really missed seeing him on Facebook over the last year.
So my story of Jimbo is a little more funny, I think. After high school, a couple days after we graduated high school, well, two overly energetic 18-year-olds, well, one 17, one 18, decided to go buy big giant water guns and water balloons. Cindy was out of town, and we went a little nuts with the water gun, shooting people on Main Street. Cop Queen. Eventually, somehow we got pulled over. Somehow. I think it's because I ran the stop sign. So anyway, the cops didn't find it very funny, so they put both of us in cuffs and take us to the station. And we're freaking out because I'm 18, I can be in big trouble, contributing to the delinquency of this one. He had to call Jimbo, and we were freaking out because he was going to be super upset, super angry. He comes walking into the police station to pick us up, and he's just kind of doing this in bad voice. I was like, all right, we're gonna survive this one day. We're gonna be all right. And I think it turned out okay.
Much I'd like to say, so much I want to say, but I've never really been much for talking in public. And when I was younger, said, you don't have to say anything, just say what the heck. So that's
That's good. Already crying. It was a good friend, both and the whole family. We love Jimbo, and he always think about me, especially me. He see an elephant, that's what help me. And he always give me, and he give me a little stamp at the Virgen de Guadalupe, and I still have it. His paper and I always will remember him. Love you, whatever you want.
Jimbo was always really nice to us, so.
Good guy.
Jimbo was family. The funniest story I think I have of Ramon and I are in one of the stores, and it's like Halloween or a holiday, and they have all the stuffed animals, all the things you can play. And Cindy and Jimbo were on the opposite side, and we're messing around, playing all the music to all the, La Bamba and, the fish moving, and Jimbo's like, that's gotta be someone. And he turns the corner and he laughs that it's us, and then we go to Walmart and he finds us doing the same exact thing. So he always teased us about that, and just family. Angie and Jeff and Cindy and Jimbo are always family.
I feel so sad today. Jim was family. He helped raise me and a whole little crew of us. And I would say the best thing that he brought to all of our lives was encouraging us to take risks. Whether that was driving a car at age 9 or riding our bikes as fast as we possibly could down the hills and just being by our sides while we took all of those risks. I think he really had such a presence in how we all grew up feeling, or riding in the back of the truck with no seat. It was just so fascinating. Now we strap our kids in 3 times. So I just feel so grateful for that. I think it helped us all be so much more independent and brave in the way that we do our lives. And he gave that to all of us. So, thank you.
I played some sports with Jim. And I was terribly out of shape. And he never felt that he needed to stop playing sports, no matter what. After his heart attack, he talked about when he'd be able to run again and play again. And I remember the softball game when our team, the Over the Hill gang, broke 4 bones on a single game. I stopped playing, but Jim never did.
Okay, I guess one of the first things I wanted to say was I keep hearing Lenorski in my ear. And Jimmy used to call me Lenorski. And Jimmy and Cindy and all of us and Ange and Jeff and Jenny and Josh, and we were family. That was it. There was no question about it. He was a lot of fun. He was silly. I feel like we grew up in Bisbee. Now we live in Tucson. But Jimmy was just a whole new human to all of us, and so many things he taught us. And when he took the kids driving in the trucks, there were sometimes their parents didn't know about that. and he also took care of Angela, Jeff, Jenny, Aaron, and Melissa. He took care of them after school, and he was a wonderful human, and I love you, Jimmy.
So I have endless stories about about Jimbo. Like, just a good guy. Everybody knows me for my laugh, but like that guy was always smiling all the time. He always had funny jokes to say. Even the jokes that weren't funny were funny. I remember, Jeff, going to school with Jeff, and just like the respect Jeff and Angie had for Jimbo. I remember, speaking about broken bones, like I played endless basketball with Jimbo, and he's absolutely right about after his heart attack, he did come back on that court. I remember the gory ass compound fracture he suffered right on that basketball goal. Snapped his leg, blood everywhere. But a good guy all around, and it's a sad but happy day today to remember him.
You know, Jimbo had a nickname for everybody. I'm sure you all had. He called me Wam Teeler. That was his name for me, so I heard that a lot. But thinking about names, when Jimbo had his first heart attack, he called me up and said, "Tom, I'm in TMC. I just had a bad heart attack." So I rushed up there to visit him. So I get up to the desk, and they said, "Who do you want to see?" And I go, "Jimbo." And she goes, "Who?" And I go, and I realized that I was calling him Jimbo, what's his name? So I go, "Jimbo." And she goes, no Jimbo. And I go, "James Bowe." And she goes, "There you go." He's in room 518 or whatever. So, yeah. But most people know that Jim was one hell of a farmer, and he liked to grow pot, and he's grown pot for as long as I've known him, and I brought some of his last year's crop with me, so at the end, anybody that would like to partake can enjoy it with us. I brought it. Let's go.
Fired up, he'll take fired up.
He would like to smog out. Anybody would like a mint?
He'll always be in my heart. Always has. He's one beautiful person. You know, towards the end, I wasn't a very good person to him because I didn't go visit him like I should have.
You're here today?
He is here. He always been here. Always with me. Me and the family. All the hands. Good. Everybody. And like I say, Jimbo's has some great stories to say. A lot of stories. And he's been around too. And I always had the love for everybody. I've never seen him be a negative person. And truly, he will be missed. I mean, for sure.
I remember him always smiling, always humorous, very good spirit, proud of his heritage, loved his family, Dan and Beth and all the kids and Cindy, my son. He was just a really good guy. He always told humorous stories. I remember one. I hope it's appropriate, but I'm sure he'd be laughing. But we partied the night before, and Walter wasn't feeling too swift the next morning, and we were at Cindy and Jim's house, and I was kind of upset at Walter, but he wanted to go, and the first thing I said to him, "Do you want another beer?" And he always made fun of that I had asked Walter when he wasn't feeling too swift. And I know he's here. I know his spirit is here. We love him very much.
My name is Gabi, and I was thankful to go up with Jimbo. I have tons of stories.
about him, and we played lots of basketball. Super competitive. We shared that. But Jimbo, when I met him, he accepted me and loved me, and he knows how to love. I seen Jimbo mad. I mean, sure, he was a happy guy, but he didn't want to cross him. And I surely tested the limits, let me tell you. But he never stopped or changed the way that he loved me. Every time I seen him, it was the same. I mean, I don't even think we share the same God, but he surely knows how to love. And I appreciate him, and I think it's beautiful that all of you guys showed up to share that. So thank you.
Well, Tom and I lived across the street from Jimbo in 1976 up on Art Avenue. And that was when he was married to Liza and had kids. And we actually went to one of the births of his daughter Tashubi. And it was an amazing experience, really. And then later on, when Jimbo and Cindy were just so perfect, you know, and he was always so happy, and it just was a pleasure to know him all these years. I mean, he's just a really good soul, and we miss him.
I love Jimbo. He died as a chief. When I first met him, he was always a lawyer. And I loved him because we developed a kinship. We had lots of experiences. We were also asked to be Tawasis, our godparents, which was a blessing, unbelievable a blessing. One of the best days of my life, there was a group of probably 50 people all gathered in vans, and everybody was doing mushrooms at the time, playing music and stuff, and we all went to the Chiricahuas. And Jimbo asked just a small handful of people to come with him. And we walked up off the trail by this little water spot. Perfect little spot to kind of sit back and just relax. And Jimbo pulled out some trinkets that he buried right there. So every time I go by there, I kind of look in that general area, you know. And, you know, I don't know. I just had, I love him. Chief.
Hi. Even though I know Jimbo for 40 years, I don't think I knew him on the level that everybody here has. All I can say is, though, every time I saw Jimbo in the street, give me a big hug, big smile, right? Smile you couldn't beat, and a spirit of joy and energy. So that's how I remember Jimbo, and I'm so happy I'm here to remember him. Thank you.
Hi there. Hi, my name is Kelly, and in 1975, when I was only 15 years old, my hippie dad decided to tune in, turn on, and drop out in Bisbee, Arizona. And early on that fall, I found myself one morning at the Chinese Laundry on Brewery Gulch there, where Jimbo lived with a couple of roommates. And they were cooking up what he called a hole-in-one, or a toad in the hole.
Hole-in-one.
Yeah. And I'd never had that before, and it was so delicious. And at the time, because I love to study Spanish, I was going by the name of Juanita. And some years later, when he was getting together with Cindy, and Cindy loves to tell the story, they were dancing in her living room one evening, and there was a picture of me from my sophomore year at Bisbee High School on the shelf. And Jimbo says, well, how do you know Juanita? And he says, who the hell is Juanita? And so he always called me Juanita. I guess I had a nickname there too. And so, but I just remember the play dates with my sister's daughters that he had with Alan here, and Jenny and Angela and Jeffrey, and how beautiful that was. And I just can only imagine what he meant to you as a stepfather. So, I wanted to say one more thing. I just, his sobriety was such a big part of his life, and his recovery from alcoholism, that he got handled early on and did a lot of healing work with his family, and I really admire him.
Hi. Angie, Jeff, and all them have always been a huge part of my life. He was a huge part of my daughter's life, Celicia, and my brother's, Jesse's, life very much. My brother looked up to him. My brother hit a lot of rough patches, and Jimbo was always there for him. He always called him Lurch. And then, of course, he gave my daughter Celicia Tasmanian devil, and she was. Well deserved. Well deserved. But in the end, I love Jimbo. I love this family, and I have a ton of memories with them. It's always been great.
I used to play basketball with him and drum. Maybe Grandpa.
Yeah, this is hard, but yeah, so many memories. One definitely a teacher. Jimbo's taught me so much, like guitar, like music, and gosh dang, this is I don't think this is gonna be this hard. But yeah, so many memories with Jimbo. Like, yeah, it's been a year, but yeah, he's just a stellar guy. Jimbo was a lot of lessons he would teach you and give you those difficult conversations, and yeah, he just wanted the best out of you, and yeah, I just spoke the truth. He didn't like bullshit and stuff like that. It was like kept it real, and yeah, I miss those like conversations and jamming out. And I was looking at my fingers right now, and I honor these calluses on my fingers. Like, he taught me that, playing guitar. So, love you, Jimbo. A lot of memories, and I know you're protecting us.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to say that Jimbo's kids, they couldn't make it, but they're all here with us in spirit, and there's a lot of other people too that are here with us in spirit. This fabric on the talking stick is from his oldest granddaughter Serenity's naming ceremony. This star, Jimbo had lots of different names. That's why it's hard to find him in the hospital. But his last name too was Soce and Morningstar. And so Teshubi made this for him when she was first learning how to sew. So this is from Teshubi, and then anybody that knows Jimbo knows he has feathers. everywhere. And then we have turquoise on here too for him, for the rocks. And I don't know. I mean, he's my ride or die. He believes so much in me. And he let me do some crazy things. It was a lot of fun, made growing up really fun, and lots of memories. And he was there for me. We butted heads big time when I was little. I was a shit. But I'm glad he stuck around and stuck through it, because he turned out to be one of my best friends. And I just, so many things that who I am, and he taught me how to respect people and how to love everybody and to see the brightness in everybody, and to be aware of your actions, and so much fun and laughter and music and playing ball. He was competitive with us too, and we're not even good. He was a break, you know, right there in your face, like, come on, I'm like 7, you know. But lots of good memories. And the other thing I wanted to say, like Tom was saying, the Chiricahuas, if you go out to Echo Canyon, he's there. We spread his ashes there. If you're up in Sedona, he's in the Oak Creek Canyon up there. He's with us everywhere, and all the little sayings and stuff, you know. He's with us with all those sayings, and I just love how he loved everybody. He didn't agree with everybody, but he loved everybody, and he brought everybody together. And seeing everybody here today from all our different stages and times of life, it just means a lot to me to be able to do this with all of you. So thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Tony. I was one of Lisa's teachers at Epic, and though my time was short with Jim, I remember 2 distinct stories. One is when I first met him, because he was donating a lot of minerals to the school, and the very first thing that he told me is when we first met, he just looked at me and he said, "So you're the Rockhead." So that was my nickname. and though my time was short, I saw him as a great mentor. He taught me a lot for the time that I had. The only regret was that I didn't have more time learning from him. But he taught me a lot of aspects of mineral collecting, because that was a huge thing in my life, and he really enriched that. Not only about collecting, but about the stories that came with wherever the minerals came from, where you get the stories that come with it, but the respect that he had for nature, for the world, which really enlightened me in many ways. And another story that I remembered was that when we were talking about turquoise, he told me that with turquoise, it holds such great value that it's not really a stone that's meant to be sold. It's more of a stone to be gifted and to be traded. And because of that, I decided that now, since I got into the mineral trade, that the only stone that I will never sell, that I will always gift and trade in his honor, is turquoise. And with that, I even brought a piece of Bisbee turquoise to gift to Jimbo. I'll give it to you. That I cut myself, and as a way of kind of returning it. Is how I see it. Returning it and gifting him as a thank you for the mentorship and the kindness that he showed me.
I first met Jimbo with the Art Avenue clan. and then the clan got bigger when our kids were born, mine and Rhonda's. Angela and Jeffrey and Jenny and Corey. when all those young kids, we were able to trust him with those kids, that he taught them the good things, you know. He might have drove them around in a truck, but at that time he was safe with them. He was really a good guy. We had some good times up in the Chiricahuas, watching the trees breathe. You know, I miss him.
Blessings. Blessings.
So many stories, so many different aspects of Jimbo that we've all known, some more than others. I also knew the part of him that was very political. He was really into the whole save the water. He would go downtown and he would be drumming for an hour to support the people, his tribes, saving the water. And I feel very honored that on the last day of his life, he came to say goodbye to me. Nobody of course knew that that was going to happen. I feel really honored and I miss him.
Okay, let's see if I can keep it together. I met Jimbo pretty close to the time I lost my own dad, and Jimbo and my dad were like kindred spirits, and so I kind of felt like I got to keep having my dad after I lost mine. And just to know that my kids would have a grandpa like I wanted them to have, not just any grandpa, like someone like my dad, someone like Jimbo. There's a different kind of love you get from that person. And so I'm so thankful that he was in my life and that my girls got to know him. So, yeah. I think that's all the words I can get out, but he knows.
I didn't get to play basketball with Jim ever, but I can understand and usually see the competitiveness. I did get to sit next to him at McHale Center for a few U of A games, and I will never watch them ever the same again. Because anytime the other team misses a free throw, I don't know if any of you know, he yells out, "Nice shot, buddy!" So whether I'm at home or at a game, that's what I think now. Every time the other team misses a free throw, "Nice shot, buddy!"
It's just you and Selena, Silly. If you want to say anything, you can, and if not, just pass it to Selena, and then I think everybody's had a turn.
I just say that he, of course, Walter is my brother, and my sister-in-law is Angela, if you didn't know. The love that he provided and the energy the whole time I've known him. And my son. He would joke with my son as well. And I just won't ever forget just his energy alone and how much love he gave and his beautiful smile. It was just so happy. And it just brought joy to me. He always brought joy to me every time I saw him. Big hug. You know, lots and lots of love. That's what he taught me.
One thing I just want to say is I've always loved his laugh. It was always so contagious and just so freaking loud. Gosh. So that's something that I'll always have in my memory. And I know he's looking down on everybody. He loves everybody who's here and just everybody that had the chance to get to know him. That's all I want to say.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. There's a few people that couldn't be here that sent They're little things, so one I'll play and then this one's in two.
This will be brief. Jimbo was my family, and he was my family's family. And we were not related by blood, but he was still my family. My parents loved him, and my brother loved him. My brother used to talk to me a lot about how cool Jimbo was. He was this free spirit, and he just did what he wanted to do, and that was so great. And I remember Jimbo and his laugh and his smile, and I don't have a ton of memories from when I was younger, just in general, not just of Jimbo, but I do remember him being around, and I remember visiting him when we left Bisbee, and just, I really looked forward to my time with him. And then my brother, he used to tell me about how Jimbo would smoke joints and drive all of us around, sitting in the back seat, and then Jimbo would turn around in the front seat while he's driving to talk to all the kids sitting in the back seat while driving. And my brother just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And the way he told the story, it was awesome. But I don't remember that. I was too young. Well, as an adult, I remember Jimbo just being very supportive of anything you wanted to do. He did not care if you wanted to do something that was not mainstream. He felt that you could be successful doing whatever you loved, and pretty much doing what you loved made you successful. And he was always very supportive, and he just really thought, in my experience, he just thought the best of people, and he really saw their talents within them that they might not have seen themselves. And he was just really a great person, and I remember digging for azurite and malachite with him, and just the joy that brought him, and like him just being like, oh well, that's not the right dirt over there, this is the right dirt, those people are digging in the wrong place, but that's okay because we don't want them digging in our place. And like, it's just how good at like things he was.
We all need to come together as brothers and sisters. It's been far too long of divisiveness, vitriol thoughts. You know, we need to get past that and come together as a complete world instead of fractional worlds. And the natives are trying to bring us all together because we need to. If we don't, we're going to die. I carry my power with me so that I can say my power needs to be out there in the world.
Say your name.
Soce, Morningstar. Soce is our family name, and it means morning star. S-O-C-E. My white man name is Jimbo. James Patrick Bowe.